Right, this is part 3 of our video on doing the timing chain. Ian will link you to the second part of the video, and that in turn will link you to the first part of the video. So in this part of the video, we are starting this flick over here. We have got the starter motor out. We have got the crank locked through the starter motor hole in the correct position, and we have got the cams 1 and 2 are locked with these pins. So everything is timed up, but we're missing a belt. So this is going to go how to fit the belt, and hopefully it all goes okay. We're not professionals, we're not workshop trained, but hopefully we'll only put this video up if it works. It'll work fine. Right, so let's have a look over to the table where we started. So we've got the old and new sort of comparison. So these are the old bearings we've just taken out, and they're a little bit of a sort of in them. These are the new ones, which are super sweet. So these are just idler bearings. This one's the tensioner one. It's spring loaded. It's got some, as you can see, massive spring. And that not only acts as an idler, it also tensions and presses against the belt to keep everything fine. This you can see is a Daco, which is an OE one. OE meaning original equipment, as was fitted originally. That's that. One thing to note at this stage is we are going to have to line this little groovy mouth up with that little bit I've painted orange there, so you can see. So you'll see that later in the video, but we'll get a better view of it here than we will when it's on the car. Right, belts, interesting. If you don't know when your car was serviced, or if the belt was changed, or when the belt was changed, if you've got a Daco belt, which is highly likely, it's something interesting. I wondered, and I've Googled it, and this code here, the first 2 digits, the 12, means it was made in 2012. The next 2 digits, the 15, mean it was week 15 of that year. So obviously they could go from 1 to 52. The next 2 digits are the day it was made. Next digit, sorry, the day. So not the day,
Yes, the day.
Yes, the day in the week. Yes, sorry. Yeah, so it's first 2, year, second 2, week, third, which is the 5th digit, is the day in that week, and the next 3 digits are just a running sequence of where it was in the mould or something.
So you can see it goes from the top here, 33, and by the bottom we're at 037. So
it'll probably start at 1, I don't know, and go. But right, so this is 2012. Right, our car, you can tell by this number plate, if you understand British number plates, is a 2009 car. This is a 2012 belt. So
here's our brand new belt.
There's our brand new belt. That's a good point. Which is a Daco one, but slightly different. Okay, so this is a 2018 belt. That's when the belt was made in the 9th week. So it would have been in February.
So it's about a year old now.
Yes, about a year old. So, so you could allow around a year because it's been sat on a shelf. They've had to make it in the factory, ship it somewhere. We've bought it. But obviously it can't travel back in time. It can only go forwards in time, if you see what I mean. So this 2012 belt, we can guess that was probably done around 2013.
We've checked our MOT history, which is quite a good thing to do.
Yes.
And around 2013, it was around 130,000 miles on the clock.
Yeah. Now I think we're supposed to do these around 112,000.
So if it was done around 2012, 2013, it was probably done around when the belt should have been changed.
Yeah. But I don't think the second change that's coming up at the 200,000, which is how many miles this one's done, has been done. Right, everyone's bored now. Let's fit a belt. Right,
we don't need the belt yet.
We don't need a belt yet, no.
We need to put the idlers on
there
first.
is one last thing I forgot to tell you. So if I put the date codes here, we've got the Daco. Now this one has a direction of rotation, which, as you look at this top pulley, the engine rotates that way. This one doesn't, as far as I can see, have any direction, but I'm going to suggest that as you look at your engine, that you have this writing this way up, not upside down.
So as we look from the front here, we'll be able to read.
There you go. So
read whatever's written on it.
If no other reason, we can read it better. Right. Don't know why about, don't know if it matters, but that's what we're doing. Right, what are we going to do first? Right, do you want to... Can you push these up? Or are you going to... No, it should all be clean. We have cleaned most of it. So it is tricky, the video in here, but hopefully this will help you guys do. What are you putting on first, Ian?
Idler bearings first.
Idler bearings. Can you remember which ones they?
I can't remember where they go.
Which ones was idler and which one was tension? Huh? Tension was that one.
Here.
You've got two here. What's that?
We've got to remember we had that.
Oh yeah, you got that bracket on
bolted.
there.
So I think it's this bottom one here.
Yeah.
And this one right up in the middle, because the belt runs down.
Down, that's right. Yeah, it got close, didn't it?
So yeah, you probably won't be
So you don't do these every day?
No. Thankfully.
What do you do every day?
Not a clue. Watch the channel, you'll find out.
Yeah.
Right, there's our first one on. So just doing them finger tight to start with.
That's it. So the belt goes down there, over there. You've got a tension of that side. I reckon it's got to be over this side a bit more, isn't it? Probably opposite the tensioner one, and it's probably only got some symmetry going on. We like symmetry.
Yeah, we can find out the proper torque settings for these.
Shall I go and have a look at the manual then a minute? When you're doing something boring, I'll go and look at the manual.
And then we just need the tensioner one. So this one, those two idler bearings we can torque up fully. This tensioner we need to make sure we leave loose, because obviously we need to add the tension to it before we tighten it.
Yes. Yeah, otherwise we're going to be, we'll never get it on. We're making our own lives difficult. So does that key into something? Has that got two little...
It doesn't seem to key into anything.
Is it just free to spin? Oh, that doesn't quite sound right. There's no key in the block?
No.
No? Okay.
Yeah, what's our torque figures? That's what we need to know.
But do we need to we don't tighten that one up yet then, no?
Nope.
No, so we don't need those yet anyway. So let's get the belt on and then we'll get the torque figures.
Right, what we do need to do is twist both of these pulleys.
Ah, yeah.
All the way as we look at them clockwise.
Yeah. Because you've got you can see here, you've got this, where you've got these three bolts just loosened a little bit. You've got that, so what we'll do is we'll do it that way, and that when you put the belt on, you'll start this way and you work it, and then you sort of pull that back, and obviously if they're all the way that way, you've got nowhere to move. That's the logic behind that. That's my explanation of the logic. I made it up. Well, you got that right in the right way around, Ian.
Yep.
Right, so you go over the bottom pulley. I can't see if you're around.
So yeah, we start off on the hooking it on the crank, and we're gonna.
Yeah, do you want me to hold that on there? I got that on there. That's not looking too bad. Well, we need to work out how to...
New belts aren't quite as flexible.
Well, that doesn't look bad.
There we go.
That doesn't look bad. Right, so everything appears to be on.
So you can see that this is already, just the pull of the belt has already given us a slight twist back towards anti-clockwise, and then we need to put, what we need to do is this a 10mm Allen key, and we're going to put that in the hole in that tensioner, and you can see it pulls all the pulleys round. If you watch that pulley as we twist it, as we tension the belt up, it clocks that pulley back to central.
True, yeah. Now, can you see that other mark? How are you going to see where that mark is, Ian? That's the trick.
So there's a little notch in the front plate,
and you can just see it through there.
Yeah.
Now, do you need me to hold that, or you got it coming?
So you hold it with one hand, and then.
Right, now is it time for me to go and get the torque settings? Let's go and have a little look.
Do that tight enough to hold it, which I think is actually a little bit too tight. So those notches aren't quite lined up, so I'll have another go at that, and then we'll
right, while Ian's just perfecting that, we'll have a look at his laptop. He's got it all up on the laptop. So, right then. So yeah, so this first picture here was showing you to get those right, and then it's showing you there the tensioner, right. Only tighten bolt finger tight at this stage, it's telling us. Install the crank pulley. Alright, there's some stuff there, and then it's saying make sure it's aligned, right. So this here is that is the tensioner pulley there, and it's saying the torque, if I scroll down there, is 26 Newton meters. Okay, and it's saying for the little 3 bolts there that hold those pulley wheels tight on the cams, it's saying that's 23 Newton meters. Okay, you got. I guess that's telling us to remove the pins. So it's the 2 lock pins we've got in the cams. Then and only then can be removed.
What was the idler?
26 Newton meters in for the idler. Then this is removing the lock out of the starter motor hole. That's the main hole, and that's the little hole above. So we can remove that. And then we've got to put it all back together. And I think that one is saying is in. Yeah, I think it's saying check that again there. But there we go. Right, how are we getting on?
Yeah, this is
What's that one saying? Because that's at the end.
So we need to rotate the engine twice. Once we've taken all the lock pins out, you spin it round twice by hand, and then you need to make sure that your locking pin on the exhaust side lines back up again.
Okay.
Just to make sure that
do you have to put the crank?
Is correct.
I guess you have to put the starter motor one in again, do you? I guess so. How else would you? Where did it say what you have to do?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
rotate the you rotate the engine,
2 complete turns
and then put it back in again.
Put that one back in,
and then check
that your whole line.
Just as a sanity check. Yeah, good idea. Right, so we will do that. Right, so Ian's all talked up. He's all happy. Don't get your laces caught in your engine. Right. So we're trying to wriggle out. We've got to try and wriggle out these cam locking pins now. And we're trying to just rotate it backwards and forwards a bit, just to relieve the pressure on those a little bit. Are they going? Heave, Charlie man. Okay, so we've got our locking pins out. What do we need to do now? So we've got to rotate the engine twice. We've put a little mark on the cam, not on the belt, on the cam. And we're going to go round, and 2 revolutions of the crank should be one of that cam, if I'm not mistaken. So you're watching you got enough leverage there, ain't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a close call. I'm going to just grab a little extension.
You're going to grab a little extension there, because you got. It will seem a long way. 2 revolutions of that's going to be. So you can see there we've got it all timed up. The tension is set. Remember, you've got to torque these bolts up here as well. And what we're going to do is rotate it, and then when we're nearly round to the second, Ian's going to jump underneath, put that crank thing in the start motor. Now obviously if you get some unbelievable resistance, then you've probably done something horrifically wrong. This allows you to check that your valves aren't bashing into your
that's
pistons.
1.
That's 1, is it?
So yeah.
So yeah,
we're straight on half.
Yeah. Oh, that's the compression bit there, Ian.
Yep.
Yeah. It's all downhill from now. And I think when it gets to top dead centre, it will be quite. Oh no, that'll be the other bits getting into compression. Alright. Remember that was only roughly, Ian, so we need to. Alright.
Around again.
That's it. Right. So, right. If you we'll swap over to the solid bar. I'll wiggle that, and if you want to go and put that lock-in bit back in the gearbox again. Right. So there we go. Right. So I'm just gonna put that on there, and I'm gonna follow Ian's instructions and wiggle it. What do you reckon, Ian? Shall I just go one way or the other and see what happens?
Let me get a light on, and then I'll.
You need some illumination. You might not be able to see it through that bigger hole. Yeah?
I think we're pretty damn close.
Yeah, it should be. Right, you put it in and I'll wiggle it backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in.
You're in here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's clicked in.
That's just clicked in. Sweet. Right now, moment of truth. Well, not quite the moment of truth. Moment of truth will be when the engine starts. But is if we put the pins through these
it says
slots.
to check it on your
Exhaust.
So which I believe is this side here.
Do you want me to check the picture? No, I can't see from that.
I think it might need a little bit of a wiggle. I think we can feel the hole though.
It's a bit naughty, but give it just a little gentle tap. Because those holes are a little bit, that little.
To be fair, it needed a wiggle the first time.
Yeah.
Just to be able to find it.
So I'm going to give it a little tap, just check it.
Oh, is it this one?
That looks like it's fairly well in.
Yeah, I think that's in.
Right, we'll double check, but that seems to be in, but that's the check you need to do. And let me just check which side it did say to do it on. We should be able to tell by the picture. Do that, put the locking thing back in, and then it says on the left hand one, Ian. Yeah, so we should get it on the left hand one. It's saying just check you can get that back in there. So we'll just check we're happy with that, and then I think we're done then, aren't we? I don't think we've got anything else to do, just to put the covers back on.
Yeah,
Once we're happy with that.
It's basically just reversed. So we need to get the starter motor all back on, get all our auxiliary, all the covers, all the auxiliary pulleys.
Remember remember to put this one on next.
This one, yeah.
Yeah, put the one that holds the fan on. In fact, I'll just show that so that then at least we're leaving you ready to do the rest of the stuff. So there we go. So this is the bearing holder for the viscous fan. That's the last bit you need to put on before you get on to putting the timing cover back on. So I thought I'd better include that, because otherwise you're going to have half your timing cover back on. It's 3 bolts. I can't remember, they were 13mm, weren't they?
15 these ones were. Yeah. So yeah, basically everything in behind there.
So look, I'll go back to the manual and just check on the manual, Ian, while you do that, because that's as far as we've got there. So we've done the 2 revolutions. We've checked the cam goes in.
Bolt that plate back on.
And what is this one saying? What's 80 Newton meters? Is that the plate? Is that, yeah, that's what they're telling us to do. The 3-point plate. It looks a bit different, but yeah, that is the plate that you're putting back on, isn't it, Ian? Yeah. So put that on, and it's saying that's 80 Newton meters there. And then remove your tool out your gearbox. Put the plastic little bung back in the hole. And then start a motor back assemble and timing cover back assemble. Yeah, that's the last 2 steps. So I wish you good luck with that. Right, moment of truth. So we're all back together. We're not 100%, but we're 99%. So we've got all the engine together. We've got the engine cover to put back on, the battery tray cover to put back on. But we're basically all there. So this is where, on video, we're going to start the engine and see if it explodes or works. We haven't topped the coolant up yet, so we'll just start it just to check it runs. So here we go. I have got my fingers crossed. There we go. There's a little bit of a tappity tap. All my belts are running sweet. The engine is sounding better than ever. So there we go. That is the Cambelt video done. I wish you luck. Did we have any problems putting it back together, Ian? Was there any tips or tricks?
It's just remembering everything.
It's just remembering, and hopefully these videos will be good for you. You can reference.
Take your time, go back through the videos if you need to.
Have a couple of cups of tea.
Yeah, just take it. It didn't take too long to get.
It wasn't stressful, was it?
Just do it slowly and do it methodically and work your way backwards.
And if us two can do it, we're not like trained mechanics. I'm pretty sure you guys can do it. No special tools we needed. The only ones were those star drives. What are they? Those E drives.
E drives, and obviously your timing pin.
And the fan tools. But that's it. It's fairly straightforward. Right, the rear tool, the rear one there. I'm still plucking up the courage to have a go at that, but If I get enough requests, we'll have a go at doing that one. But that's going to be a horrible video, isn't it? Because you can't see poop. You can't see poop back there. But yeah, give us a note if you want us to do that one. But good luck.